But Elvis, I think you're a little bit out of your mind if you're like, Elvis is the best singer ever. That was a lot. It was talent, sure, but mixed with marketing. And the fact that it was the 1950s.
Wait, you didn't like his voice?
Oh, no, but he's not. Like, if you're like, oh, Eminem's not one of the best rappers in the world, you're out of your fucking mind. But if you're like, Elvis is in the top 10, totally get it.
Elvis top 10 performer.
Yeah, performance included in the whole thing. Elvis is top 10.
Yeah.
If
Elvis is one of the, if you don't think Elvis is one of the best performers as a musician of all time, I think you're crazy.
Yeah, but didn't write music, and his pipes were good. Yeah. But I think a lot of people can fucking sing a tune better than Elvis.
Nah. You're not, like, I mean, like, you got to listen to, like, his,
I
like...
think people
You're
might
just,
be,
like... I mean, you're just, like, Viva Las Vegas! Like, yeah, of course, like, his pop stuff. But he had, like, other deeper...
There's charisma.
Yeah.
There's, like... My dad's talks to me a lot about... Because he knows all, like, classical musicians and pianists. And he said that there was... Arthur Rubinstein's, like, one of the most famous pianists of all time, said, there's a lot of people who can play better than me, but they don't make music like me. Mm-hmm. Which I think that translates to, like, any art.
Right. And Elvis didn't make any music.
Well, I think, like... And also, like, people would bite his style so much.
Yeah.
That it's sort of like how, like, people are like, Jerry Seinfeld's a hack. And it's like, no, he was, like, really original, but he inspired this whole wave of thinking where now people are like, what's the deal with this? What's up with that? You know, like, he... Just because, like, somebody invented a genre doesn't mean, like, they're not good. Like, they invented a genre.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Elvis was, like, revolutionary.
He was a hero to most.
And he had a child bride. The guy just fucking can't miss, dude.
Yeah.
Like, legally.
Yes.
He was like, hey, little mama.
Yeah.
I'm going to be your daddy and your father.
It's interesting that Elvis really only did have, like those 2 years to 3 years in the 50s. That's, like, when he's cutting edge, creative. Like, a lot of the rest of his celebrity was making, like, kind of hack movies.
Yeah, and then he got so addicted to Percocets that he ballooned up and died on the toilet.
Yeah. But I don't think it's in the same way that you could just take any other singer and give them the opportunities Elvis had, and they would have blown up like him.
100%.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is he was definitely found and marketed in a way where his natural talent was brought to a bunch of people.
Yeah. But I think, well, sure. I mean, you put this guy who's just got a thing about him in front of people, and then more people kept wanting to see more of him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you couldn't do that with most people.
Yes.
Yeah, like, that's like
we're in agreement there. I feel like we're talking past each other. I think he's a great performer, but you can't say one of the best singers of all time.
Singer as in just the specific skill of
that's
singing.
what I'm saying.
No. Yeah, but I think that's such a small part of what makes a it's like saying that certain comedians aren't the best joke writers ever.
Right, or it's like saying, like, the best singer of all time. I would think, like, the lead singer of Journey would be high up there.
The Filipino guy.
Yeah, or Freddie Mercury, you know.
Yeah.
But, like, would I consider Queen? Actually, I probably would consider Queen one of the best bands of all time.
Yeah.
So maybe, dude, because Queen fucking rocks.
They're like there are people who you just like singers in local bands or in a bar, and it's like they have an amazing voice, a better voice than people who are famous. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people like they could do more and they're not getting opportunities, but sometimes there is just so much more to it than Big J. Okerson is not the best joke writer, but he's maybe the funniest comic in the world.
Imagine if Elvis was ugly.
He was.
An ugly Elvis? No, he wasn't.
Near the end of his life?
Well, yes, but he didn't become famous at the end of his life.
But he was still famous. He could have just been like a nobody.
That's...
Bobby just slightly misspoke, and Joe zeroed in on it.
I didn't even slightly misspoke. I said he was...
You left an opening for someone to come in and poke a hole.
Yeah, I left an opening for someone to be completely irrational.
No, Bobby.
You can't do that around Joe.
Yeah. This is a pro Elvis podcast from day one, dude. We stand the king.
You guys are acting like I said something insulting about Elvis. Which
You
I
did.
not.
You're saying he sucks.
No. This is revisionist history.
Oh, please.
I said that he is not the undisputed...
Man, the Sheehans have terrible takes on music.
Yeah, Blondie invented rap. Elvis is bad, dude.
First of all, Elvis is not the best is probably not a controversial opinion. I don't.
He's
think.
the king, man.
Specifically,
he's the king of rock and roll during segregationist America.
The good old days. Last time I checked, dude.
Did you see the Elvis movie?
No, it's one of the.
He hates Elvis, dude. Why would he see the fucking movie?
I'm thinking maybe it could turn him around.
You guys aren't gonna believe this, but as a little boy, I was, and I can't believe this hasn't come up until now. I was a Elvis impersonator. Mm-hmm. As a little boy.
Like the fat Elvis who shoots hookers?
Yeah, the fat Elvis that can't sing anymore and he's about to die.
Yeah.
And
You were 6 years old doing Percocet?
My mom's like, you have to get into character, son. You have to Daniel Day-Lewis this performance. Yeah. So, yeah, when I was little, I actually liked Elvis. This is before I grew up to hate him. But I loved Elvis, because he invented rock and roll. That was at least that's what my dad told me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I used to go, thank you very much. And my parents were like, oh, that's so cute. I'm sure I could find pictures of this. So they would dress me up.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Yeah. And there was one time I went to, I believe it was the Breezy Point in Greenwood Lake, New York. And I was a little boy, and it was to watch an Elvis impersonator. And they had me in like a little Elvis costume.
And they were like, hey, the Elvis impersonator didn't show up tonight. Is there anybody here who can impersonate Elvis and fill in? Young man! Thank you very much. You're perfect.
Yeah, so there was like this middle-aged dude, and he was doing like Las Vegas era. He had the body for it, by the way.
Fat Elvis?
Fat Elvis, spirit.
Okay,
nice. And he invited me on stage.
Joe, have you ever thought of being a fat Elvis
Hell
impersonator?
yeah, dude. Just the part where he's like dead on the fucking shitter.
Right.
So I'm just like, all right, I gotta get into the part, baby. And I go into the fucking bathroom and I just fall asleep on their toilet for a good 2 hours. Nice. You go in and you take your photo with Elvis. 40 pounds of fecal matter in his colon.
Yeah.
So gross, dude.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, so what happened when you were at the show with the Elvis impersonator?
Oh, they brought me on stage and I shook my little hips. And the crowd loved it. Dare I say. It was actually the last time I got a crowd's approval. And I remember the big closing was the song All Shook Up. And he put the mic in front of me. And I went, I'm all shook up. And the crowd just went crazy. But you know what? I realized, why am I impersonating a mid-musician when I could be doing my own comedy?
Is that why you're talking down Elvis now? Like when a kid who was raped by a clown hates clowns forever? You were forced to impersonate Elvis as a child, and now you're like, not a great singer.
Yeah, but I'm all shook up, and now he's singing the Jailhouse Rock.
Locker Room Talk. Check it out wherever podcasts are sold.